First up, all Celluloid Icons draws to a close with an affectionate look at Coronation Street.
Has anyone noticed how Coronation Street is just a drag show nowadays? Has anyone noticed? And don't you think it's a bit strange?
Well, I think it's very bizarre that anyone should say that Coronation Street can't be a gay icon simply because it hasn't featured gay characters.
Hello, I'm the Divine David, and I'm waiting outside the Coronation Street tour for some friends. Lovely Sarah, beautiful Sean, how lovely Sarah. Everything okay? Great, you're not feeling temperamental? Hi, Dirty, okay?
Hello, I'm Sarah and I'm from Manchester.
Hiya, I'm Twinkle and I live in Manchester.
I'm Sean and I live in Manchester.
I'm Deb and I live in Leeds.
I'm Chris and I live in Manchester, but I'm from Buffalo.
Let's go!
Yes, let's go forth and multiply. Yeah, let's take your hand.
Oh, I think Coronation Street is a gay icon for all the kind of obvious reasons. I mean, it has strong female characters. The humour is incredibly camp. And it has, I think, moments of real poignancy as well. And I think all those are ingredients that we as a community are likely to identify with really strongly.
Hello, well, here we are outside Coronation Street, and I've just met you, a lovely man. Peter, is that okay?
Yes, it is.
Yes, may I call you Peter?
Of course.
That's lovely. I'd hate to be too familiar, you know. I'd like to ask you, Peter, if I may, what you think of Coronation Street as a gay icon?
Coronation Street has a big gay following. I mean, I'm here virtually every day, and a good percentage of our guests are gay people. We notice this particularly when we've got, say, the Gay Carnival in Manchester, and it has a tremendous gay following. I think it does stem from the characters in the programme, because Coronation Street is very character-based, and a lot of gay people latch on to strong female characters, such as Bet, Audrey.
Don't talk to me about Alpha.
That's the actual core of the programme.
Yeah.
Strong women and a good deal of comedy.
Do you know what I said to our Gail? I said, Gail, lover.
My favourite characters would be Ina Sharples, of course, and Rita Fairclough. Smashing.
Elsie Tanner, Ina Sharples.
Rita, and because she suffers.
I like Raquel because I find her very down-to-earth, very sort of scatty, very sort of the girl next door. A bit like myself, really, when I do drag. Annie Walker, Uncle Albert.
Yeah, I like Raquel.
Yes, I've always found Rita very attractive as the older woman that's always dead.
Deirdre, Bet Lynch.
But of course, we desperately want to be aromatherapy clients of Raquel, who we worship above all. Alma, of course, how could I forget that woman?
Raquel, Rita, Mavis.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rover's Return Inn. Now, I think I've anticipated the drinks that you'll be drinking correctly, but I haven't got you one.
Oh, pints Newton and Ridley, please.
Yes, certainly.
And Tanya.
Number one.
Can.
Yes, it is marvellous.
Yeah.
Although
Very
it was
handy.
originally the Chatlocks.
That's right, yes. Yeah. Because Uncle Albert was actually the uncle of a previous wife of Ken's.
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't actually blood relatives. They shared no fluid, you know. Twinkle.
Hello.
Who did you watch Coronation Street with when you were a child?
Right, well, I would mainly watch it with my mum, and she used to watch it while she was getting ready to go to work, and she worked in this bar, sort of in this pub.
Bit of a home from home.
I think it was. It was rather special the way she used to stand and put her makeup on, just wearing her tights, you know, and things like that, getting dressed before she went to work. And we'd sit watching it, you know, having our tea, and we'd watch it together, but always with my mum.
Are you all long-term fans?
Yeah. I'm not, no. I only started watching it about 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
It was forbidden in my house.
Was it really? And why was that?
Because it's common.
Really? And of course you're not.
Oh, no, not anymore.
I'm Kathy P, and I love Coronation Street. It's got so many fab women in it. Rita, Mavis, Deirdre, Gail, Raquel. But you know, my heart will always belong to Bet Lynch. She'll never be Gilroy to me.
My favourite clip happened here in the Rovers, in the sitting room in particular. Basically, it has to do with Bet and Annie Walker.
What exactly is your arrangement with Mr. Baldwin?
Well, it's simple enough. Now, he wants somewhere to stay while he's up here. He couldn't find anywhere handier than Mrs. Caldwell's old place. Now, he's seen my flat and he knows it's grotty, so he's asked me to move in with him. And I think he's right. He'd be daft to leave that place empty half-week.
You'd keep the house clean for him?
Yes.
Do the shopping?
He'd be daft if he did it himself.
Certainly would, with the housekeeper to do it for him. And that, in effect, is what you'd be?
Yes. You could say that.
Say it.
All right. I'm his housekeeper.
Now, would you care for a sherry, dear?
And everything was smiles after that, and it was all sorted, and it was absolutely brilliant.
Hey up, cock. Another pint, is it? Any road. Flaming heck. Now then, lady. Rita, love.
But Rita, heavenly Rita, goddess of glamour.
Vis-a-vis, how would you say that Coronation Street was camp?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, I wouldn't like to say.
It's been quite fashionable in recent years for heterosexual critics and heterosexual culture more widely to talk about postmodernism, and one defining characteristic of postmodernism is an abolition, if you like, between high and low culture.
Oh, look at the cladding, yes. Yes. Oh, that's gorgeous. And this is art, isn't it? It's abstract. It's Mondrian, but without most of the primary colours.
Suddenly you can celebrate the vulgar, the popular, the lowbrow, and soap operas fall into that. There's been lots of articles in broadsheet newspapers celebrating how great Coronation Street is, how good soap operas are. In a sense, that's only heterosexuals doing what gay culture has done for a very long time. And in a sense, postmodernism, in one respect, is heterosexuals finally catching up with camp.
Yes. Well, I liked it, actually, when Vera and Jack had a Spanish evening and Ken and Emily came in. And they'd been away to Spain, very sophisticated, came back and she decided to have a Spanish night. This was Vera. And Ken said to Emily, they were invited to the party, I wonder whether the cuisine will be Basque or Catalan.
Hello, kid, how are you?
You see drag queens doing dialogue from Coronation Street in their acts. Week to week, the dialogue will change because, you know, these people are watching it. They know that we're watching it, so we're going to get the joke.
Try cock.
I sometimes think I hear the characters in Coronation Street talking like gay men or like drag queens, usually the women.
Well, she may say, hey up, cock, but she's no cock in a frock. She's all woman.
All our lovely Elsa memories for you, eh?
Elsie Tanner's
in the
best character that was ever on the street. The strongest woman, the sexiest woman.
Yeah.
And the fact that she walked through this door makes me go quivery, actually. The fact that she was here. The queen of the street before Beth. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, in the early days, you had the kind of very fraught relationship between Ina Sharples and Elsie Tanner. And there was a real savagery to the way she attacked her, and yet they did, in the end, form some kind of a bond.
As Tony Warren said, where he got his ideas from was his actual upbringing, where he was brought up with his mother, and his, you know, all the female characters around him seem to be very strong. And I think that's very, I'm not generalising, but I think that's very significant in a lot of gay men's sort of lives, is their mother.
Yeah.
And strong women surrounding them. And I think that it really comes through in Coronation Street.
A very beautiful scene was played out in the shop by Maureen involving her mother, where her mother was trying to sympathise with her.
I want to know who she is, what she's like, what the colour of her hair is, what they do together, what she's got that I haven't got, what she does that I don't do, what he says to her, every little thing he's ever said to her. Of course I'm interested, but I don't want to be.
I am the Divine David. I've had a string of broken romances and probably will continue to have. It was a scene that meant a lot to me. I related to it totally. And it was a reawakening of Maureen, and I know that she's going to grow as a dramatic force in the street, and that can only be a good thing. Thank you very much.
Yes, I actually think that Coronation Street is all about the relationships between women. I think the women are the central characters in it, and the men are almost incidental. They're kind of foils for the women.
I love Rita. I mean, the wonder of that woman is beyond belief. Though I do remember a time when Rita got up on stage at her own Capricorn nightclub in a tight-fitting powder blue catsuit and sang, "Hey, Big Spender."
My favourite scene is when the part where Fiona threw Steve out of their flat. They were living together, and he was having an affair with Vicky.
Fiona, what the hell are you doing?
I'm throwing you out and your things with you.
Come, Fiona, you nearly killed me then.
Who cares?
Look, I'll come up, we'll talk about it.
No, you won't. The door's bolted and it's staying bolted, and tomorrow I'm getting new locks. I've had it, Steve.
Oh, look, you don't mean that.
Oh, yes, I do. I've had enough of you.
Well, I've had enough of this carry-on and all.
Well, fine, Vicky Arden can have you. She's welcome.
Well, you said it.
Go on, then. Go. Go on.
And her really strong for the first time in, you know, that relationship. And now, look where she is. And please, please, don't go back with him, Fiona. Don't go back with him. Don't visit him in jail. Don't do anything. Just stay here and do Maud's hair, please.
Ba, 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 ba.
Okay, you're gonna love this guy. Runs like clockwork. Time?
0620.
He's finishing breakfast, and right now he's heading for the shower.
0621, he's in the shower. 20 Celsius, 53 seconds. 0622, he brushes his teeth. 20 strokes.
Is it the crispy golden flakiness, the lightly sweetened honeyness, or the flaky hint of nuttiness that makes Kellogg's Crunchy Nut cornflakes so irresistible?
0625, he's at the door. You can set your watch by him.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nut cornflakes. The trouble is, they taste too good.
Don't catch me.
Oh, fleas! What a pest, especially in the summer.
They always spoil our fun. Molly, Henry, time for your flea control. So much for playtime.
What's this? It's Program, a different kind of flea control. Easy, convenient, and available only on prescription from your vet. It's simple. One dose once a month in their food stops fleas breeding. Make Program central to your flea control this summer and all year round.
That was easy.
Yeah, easy as falling off. Oh.
Well, we know that a lot of gay men love the camp of Coronation Street. What would you say would be of Dyke interest vis-a-vis Coronation Street?
Same thing. It's the camp, and also it's like we're saying, the strength of the women.
It's also the way that they relate to each other, the women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That they have one set of relationships with their men, and they have another set of relationships with their women friends.
Yeah. Rita, have you got my copy of Hello? And the Gay Times, please. Thanks very much. And that Vulcan, that's nice. Yeah. Anything you'd like, Sarah?
I'd like a copy of Diva.
Do you like Diva?
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I think Mavis is reading it at the moment.
I'd like a nice Cosmo.
And as Bet matured, so did I. She kept stoically smiling through one disastrous relationship after another. She survived a fire at the Rovers in a nylon nightie and even a one-night stand with Jack Duckworth. And me? I became a lesbian.
Bet was a very sexy person. I mean, she just oozed.
She was a
did
dynamo,
ooze.
wasn't she?
She was a dynamo.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I wouldn't say I fancied any of the characters.
What about you, Debs?
Well, there was definitely Tanya, because she was one on her own. You don't get many like her down the street.
No.
I'm sorry when she left. Made it a lot less enjoyable.
Would you not have said that she was quite a destructive character?
Yeah, which was interesting because most of the sexy women in it are older, and she was the first younger sexy woman in it. And
with that bit of oomph about her.
But I think that's part of the campness and the gay sensibility of it, is that powerful women in camp portrayal are almost always older.
Yeah.
Young women's sexuality is missing from that completely, and so when it does come in with something like this, she's got to be bad.
She was bad for me because she took Charlie away from me. I would have liked to have had a meaningful relationship with him.
And his moustache.
Very much.
Oh, Elsie Tanner was gorgeous as well.
Des Barnes' brother.
Des Barnes' brother, yes, he was nice, he was cute. Yeah, I did quite like him.
I mean, I fancied Rita Fairclough. I think I spent, several of my early months on the gay scene just trying to meet a woman like Rita Fairclough. And in fact, I did really one night. And I thought it was God's way of telling me that, yes, I am a lesbian.
This is my favourite clip. It's one of the first I ever remember seeing. And it happened through the back of the shop when Maggie Clegg had just sold the shop to the Hopkins family, and Granny Hopkins is rooting through an old sideboard and she finds a birth certificate.
I'll leave that out. I'll shift a lot out the back in a minute. Oh, look, there's something stuck in the joint of the wood here. Not ours.
What is it?
It's a birth certificate.
Oh, let's have a look. Tis too.
Who's it for?
Well, now. A boy, Gordon. Father, unknown. Mother, Elizabeth Preston.
And it turns out that Gordon Clegg, Maggie's son, is actually the illegitimate son of Betty Turpin.
What's interesting about the street, in many ways, is that it genuflects to the idea of family and then shows you actually what goes on inside those families, like the McDonald's. Again, not a very good ad for the nuclear family unit, which God knows enough gay men and lesbians know about how it can't accommodate certain things. But it genuflects to those things and to the idea of that unit being where you come from and you having some loyalty to it. But what actually happens on the street is that the relationships are forged in friendship.
It's a bit scummy, isn't it?
It's
pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
She runs a cafe. You think she'd have a bit more responsibility.
She might be sat in there with a few cans of lager around her. She might have let herself go. To have all that and then to just let it go. I don't know. Yeah, she's in there, I think.
Do you think that comment
surrounded with
was
empty
actually
cans of
misguided?
lager and that. She's probably using soup.
Jealousy of Gail.
Scan your lager.
Grass nicely trimmed,
Yeah,
doesn't
something
it?
from Aldi on that.
Don't touch Gail's bush.
Sure, you're naughty.
That was my moment that I best remember from the street, the most heartbreaking moment when Raquel told Curly that she couldn't marry him.
Oh, Curly, you're the nicest bloke I've ever met. I just can't marry you. I can't marry anyone. I'm sorry.
Raquel, don't go.
And Curly was shouting from the gate.
Raquel! Raquel!
And there was rain. She was stumbling in her heels through the puddles. And that was my heartbreaking moment. And it made me cry. But it still does now.
Bonsoir. Merci beaucoup. Can't stop me everything French. 69. Je t'aime. Coq au vin. Means chicken with wine.
We're all concerned with gay rights. We care very much about gay rights. And this question's quite a tricky one, really. In as much as vis-a-vis, what do you think about a gay character being brought into the street?
I don't know. I think a gay character, although I am, like, pro-gay, obviously, I don't know about bringing in a gay character to that amount of scrutiny. You know, whether it would work or not.
It makes you think, well, would it work? And that's a really strange thing to be worrying about. Thinking, well, would that character fit in? Because like,
fit in with
it
the
isn't
rest
of
of
the
the
real world. It doesn't deal with issues that are going around in the world in anywhere near like what's soap operas or whatever. It doesn't. It is a separate world, I think.
I think the important point with Coronation Street would be more, would a gay character fit in with the show more importantly than should they have a gay character?
Yeah.
And if they were to somehow come up with a gay character that really seemed to belong on the street, that really fit in, then yes.
Rita could have a lovely woman, and I've picked somebody for her, but she's already in it. It's Patricia. I think she needs somebody strong to look after her. And Rita needs somebody with a bit of sparkle.
And Vera would be going, well, I'll Terry, we'll sort that out. You know, it'd be all that. No, you don't need it. You don't need a gay character.
But the problem is that all the gay content on the street is subtle. We know about it. Yeah, we can see the jokes, we see the drag queens, we see the camp. Yeah. They couldn't bring it to the surface like that because then it wouldn't work. The pattern would fall. Yeah.
You get a lot of gay characters in other soaps now, so why not put one in Coronation Street?
And it's always been character-led and not issue-led. Like, you don't get characters coming in to provide an excuse for an issue.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, Trisha has a lot of issues around her, but she's a definite character.
Yes, that's very
She's
true.
not just a cipher.
What's been said about Coronation Street being character-driven relates back to having a gay character in the street, in the sense of, I don't think a lot of gay people would appreciate a character coming in pointedly just to be gay. That's what people don't want, because that's not what Coronation Street is.
Stuart loves Michael.
Oh, that is nice. Well spotted, Debs. That's lovely. Perhaps that should be immortalised.
Yeah. Do it in indelible ink.
So there's been gays on the street before. We've said this before, haven't we? You know.
Hi, Fiona.
Hello. On the lighter side, would you have, say, a fantasy gay character that you'd like to see in the street, just using your imagination?
I think Deirdre should be shipped off to the Greek islands where she happens upon the island of Lesbos.
I can't cope, Ken, I can't cope.
And he meets a Greek waitress and brings her back with her. I mean, I think that's brilliant. Just to see Tracy's face as well would be brilliant.
It's our Tracy. She's in a coma. What do you mean, how can they tell?
Can I have your kidney as well?
Yeah, I can have your
And I think they actually serve them very nicely in Greece, don't they? You can sort of have a Greek tossed salad with a little bit of feta cheese.
A Moroccan kidney.
She's had a whole tablet of ecstasy. Oh, Ken, I could kill her. She never even thought to offer me half.
I think it should be somebody in a very ordinary job, not a well-paid job, and someone who's really quite big and tough. And like, if Jim and Bill Webster started making comments, he could like say, right, outside now.
Yeah.
So that he wouldn't be a victim at all.
No way. No, I think that sounds very nice.
I think an interesting point would be that if Rita were to adopt a gay teenager,
that
would be a really good introduction for a gay character.
And she'd have
she
a lot
could be
to pass on,
protective,
wouldn't she?
and
Yeah.
you know, she could sort of deflect all the bigotry rather than the you know, the person themselves.
Oh, shut up, Wilton. I'm not in mood. Just get on with your work and let's chat.
I think we see so few images of ourselves that images, even though they're not directly of us, that speak to us, we become very loyal to them.
Yeah.
And I think that's true of most things that the gay community love, is that we are loyal to it and we keep following it.
Yeah.
La la.
Da 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 da.
It's a grounding thing. I know when I've been away travelling and I come back and I just get home. And I know if I put that on, I'm back to bed.
Yeah.
It kind of it brings me down in a good way, and like an earthed kind of. No matter what else is going on in your life, it's like Coronation Street's a bit like going home sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like that home base.
Certainly, it's not us reading things into Coronation Street in a sense. They were already there. The very early episodes are clearly a gay man's sort of fantasy about northern working class community life. So in a sense, the gay meaning of the programme has always been there from the very beginning.
Coronation Street. We know you support our cause. Bet, Raquel, Phyllis, Ivy, Audrey, Vera, Alma, and Gail, and Rita. Especially Rita Fairclough. We know you're out there for all of us.
Another pint, is it? Rita, love.
I just wanted to say thanks. How I admired Elsie. The warmth of the Rover's snug. And when Valerie was electrocuted, so was I. So was I.
Any road.
Memories of the street, a path we tread together, together in our love. Coronation Street. Don't look back.
Victim, vampire, serial killer, loner. The celluloid closet opens the door on lesbian and gay images through a century of cinema.
Why don't you just say it? I'm gay.
Been tasting roads my whole life.
Celluloid icon River Phoenix stars in my own private Idaho at 10 o'clock. The celluloid closet opens at 9 o'clock, Thursday night on Channel 4.